The skill of making small talk. Small talk has a bad reputation. Sometimes we think of it as the poor cousin to a real conversation. However, without small talk, many of us will never get to those real conversations. Small talk helps us put others at ease and make them comfortable. Small talk breaks the ice and goes a long way toward furthering a relationship. The ability to make small talk can help us build business, develop our networking skills, get friends, maintain relationships, and even find us jobs. So, if you are not good at small talk, it can lead to big disadvantages in the business world. Although commenting about the weather or the latest sports scores may seem trivial to you, having the ability to initiate or at least participate in trivial conversations can help you navigate networking events, open the door to attracting potential new business, and give you something to say to your own boss at corporate affairs. If you are not good at coming up with trivial topics, don't fret. We'll provide you with tips on improving your small talk skills. Show interest in the other party. The number one secret to making small talk, if you are uncomfortable with it, is getting the other person to talk. How do you accomplish this? By showing interest in them and asking questions. Rather than awkwardly rambling on about your long commute due to the rain, ask the other party a question to encourage them to speak. If you know who you'll be meeting with in advance, it would be advantageous to do some research on them to see if you can find out any personal interests they have, and then encourage them to discuss those. Use open-ended questions. When asking questions to show interest in the other party, the trick is not to ask questions that can be answered with a simple yes or no, which would be the pressure back on you to continue the conversation. Instead of asking, "I heard you like to play polo. Is that true?" Say, "I heard you play polo. What made you interested in this sport?" Prepare. Mostly, small talk centers around the weather, recent events, and industry news. The problem is that it's hard to make small talk if you are not up to date on these happenings. Before you find yourself at an event with nothing to say, prepare topics to discuss related to these fields. Read or watch the news to familiarize yourself with recent local and international events to bring up. However, try and stay away from politics. As it's hard to predict what political side other people may be on, the last thing you want is to start a controversial debate at a work function. Staying current on important industry news is also helpful to have something to discuss at business events. You can accomplish this by signing up for relevant newsletters, following companies on social media, joining industry-related LinkedIn groups, etc. The more you know about the topic, the more you will have to say. Now, let's consider exit lines. No matter how seriously you try, not all conversations can be made into engaging discussions. Eventually, even good conversations may come to an end. Tell the other person how much you have enjoyed speaking with them, and go on to meet other people. And finally, do you remember names? To use the excuse, "I'm just no good with names," is just not acceptable if you want to win at the art of interpersonal relations. And if you want to make the best impression you can on the people you do business with. So, how do you remember names? Probably rule number one should be that you want to remember names. Think of it as a skill you are developing through practice. Some additional tips include: repeat the name after you've been introduced, then use it again as soon as possible to underline the name in your memory bank. Repetition helps. Look at the person as you say his or her name. Note anything visual about that person that will help you anchor that name in your memory. If you are given a business card at some point in the conversation, take time to look at the card and the person's name. For visual learners, actually seeing the name helps keep it in your memory. If you have a journal, get in the habit of writing down the names of the people you meet at a function or during the day. This activates your kinesthetic learning and is just one more opportunity to fix the name in your memory.